Do you think seeing a therapist or psychiatrist would be helpful, but don't have the time to actually find one and meet with them, or can't afford them? Try our sponsor, Talkspace. By doing everything online, Talkspace has made getting the help you want easy, accessible, and affordable. Therapy can help you shift your perspective, find tools to cope in difficult times, and be a guiding light. And at Talkspace.com, you can sign up online and get a personalized match with a provider that's right for you, typically within 48 hours. There's no need to commute to appointments, miss time at work, or line up childcare in order to attend sessions. It's mental health care made easy. As a listener of this podcast, you'll get $100 off of your first month with Talkspace when you go to Talkspace.com/optimal. To match with a licensed therapist today, go to Talkspace.com/optimal to get $100 off of your first month and show your support for the show. That's Talkspace.com/optimal. This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 2066. Muscle Confusion. Does changing workouts mean faster gains? Part 2 by Christian Finn of MuscleEvo.net. And I'm Dr. Neil, your host and narrator. Welcome back to Optimal Health Daily, where I simply read to you from the best health and fitness blogs for free. Always with permission from the sites, and always with a bit of my commentary at the end. Now today is Wednesday, and like I do every Wednesday, I like to share a little bit of inspiration with you. So here we go. Quote, "Never let yesterday use up today." Richard Nelson. All right, now today's post is part 2 from yesterday. So if you're new or skipping around, I'd recommend listening to yesterday's episode first. That was episode 2065. But if you're all caught up, let's jump right in, hear part 2, and continue optimizing your life. Muscle Confusion. Does changing workouts mean faster gains? Part 2 by Christian Finn of MuscleEvo.net. Challenge rather than confuse your muscles. If you want a muscle to grow, you'll need to increase the demands you impose on that muscle. Do the same exercises for the same number of sets and reps while lifting the same amount of weight for the next 5 years. Nothing much is going to happen. For example, lifting 100 pounds for 4 sets of 5 to 8 reps might be enough to stimulate growth, but over time, your body will adapt to that particular stress and stop growing. If you want your body to continue adapting and improving, you need to provide it with a challenge it hasn't adapted to. That stimulus can come in the form of pushing yourself to do an extra rep with the same amount of weight, the same number of reps with a little more weight on the bar, or an extra set of the same exercise. It doesn't require changing your entire routine. For example, let's say that your current routine involves 3 to 4 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions of a particular exercise. You start out doing 3 sets of 8 repetitions. Over time, you keep on adding reps until you're able to do 3 sets of 12 repetitions. Then you add another set. As soon as you hit the point where you're able to do 12 repetitions in that 4th set, you add weight, drop back to 3 sets of 8 repetitions, and start the whole process all over again. Doing 12 reps in all 4 sets serves as the trigger for adding weight. When you hit 12 reps, the weight goes up. If you can't, carry on using the same weight until you do. In other words, an effective training stimulus can involve nothing more complicated than striving to add sets and reps to an exercise, or more weight to the bar. The importance of experimentation. Different people respond at different speeds to different doses and types of training. Some people do better with one routine, while others make their best gains with another. And the only way to know what type of training works best for you is with some experimentation. That is, you pick 1 or 2 variables in your training program to adjust and observe how making those adjustments affects your progress. When you're constantly changing this or altering that, randomly selecting a different workout from one day to the next, evaluating your progress is difficult. With systematic experimentation, discarding the things that don't work and keeping the things that do, you'll eventually learn what type of training routine your body responds best to. When you find a routine that's working, stick with it, at least until you reach the point where you're no longer making gains. Once you've established what works for you, why abandon it in favor of something that might not work as well? Heavy, medium, and light training days. The other day, I was reading about a guy who signed up for some personal training at a local gym. He met with his trainer 3 to 4 times a week, and the workouts rotated between heavy, medium, and light training days. The trainer told him that switching up the weights and reps kept his muscles from getting used to the workouts, which could cause a plateau. By confusing his muscles, the gains would be steadier and more consistent. While muscles don't get confused, that doesn't mean there are no benefits to having heavy, medium, and light training days. Sometimes, a particular training method can work, just not for the reasons some people think it works. Changing your weight and reps from workout to workout, for example, has been shown in some studies at least to have a small but beneficial effect on muscle growth. In one trial, a group of trained men lifted weights 3 times a week using either a constant or varied training program. The constant group kept their training program the same, doing 8 to 12 reps on every set. The varied group changed both the weight and the number of reps, switching from heavy, 2 to 4 reps, to medium, 8 to 12 reps, to light, 20 to 30 reps on days 1, 2, and 3 respectively. While both groups gained muscle and got stronger, it was the varied group that saw the best results. But this had nothing to do with muscle confusion. Rather, it was because training with higher reps appears to stimulate more growth in the slow twitch muscle fibers. Final thoughts. None of this means you can't get in better shape with workout routines like P90X. If you want to lose some fat, gain a little muscle, and get a bit fitter, they're a lot better than doing nothing. But muscle confusion isn't the reason they work. Your muscles don't get confused. They adapt to various types of stress in such a way that they're better able to handle that same source of stress in the future. Focus on challenging rather than confusing your muscles. They'll end up growing bigger and stronger in response to that challenge. You just listened to part 2 of the post titled Muscle Confusion. Does Changing Workouts Mean Faster Gains? By Christian Finn of MuscleEvo.net. Can you name the most popular answers to 5 items you might find on a work desk? What about occasions where people might give a gift? Or types of insurance? It's time to test your knowledge with Fun Frenzy Trivia, which is a free mobile trivia game with over 60 different categories, including music, TV, animals, celebrities, and more. If you choose the most popular answers to each question and beat the clock, you move on to the next level. Fair warning, the questions get harder over time. But if you get stuck, you can use coins and gems to get some helpful hints. I really love it, not only because it keeps my brain sharp, but you definitely learn a thing or two as well. Fun Frenzy Trivia is an exciting brand new game on the App Store from the creators of the #1 trivia app, Trivia Star. Download Fun Frenzy Trivia today to challenge yourself. Just go to the Apple or Google Store and search for Fun Frenzy Trivia. Download Fun Frenzy Trivia for free today and get ready to flex your brain muscles. Dr. Neil here for my commentary. Christian said some really important things. Doing something is better than doing nothing. So, let's say you were discouraged to hear that muscle confusion may not be the magic muscle-boosting secret we were hoping for. There is still a place for it, though. If you enjoy incorporating muscle confusion, go for it. I know that doing the same workout day in and day out can be really boring. So changing the routine can keep things new and exciting and help keep you returning to the gym or putting that exercise DVD back in the DVD player. The next statement I appreciated was when Christian mentioned that if your goal is to get bigger muscles, then challenging them is key. So, again, you may not need to worry about confusing them so much as challenging them by lifting heavier weights. All right, that'll do it for another episode of OHD. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening every day. Thank you for sharing the show with someone. That's one of the best ways to keep this thing going. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow with another post and where your optimal life awaits.